Trash to Cash podcast. I'm dead inside. How are you guys doing?
Hello.
I was doing good.
So many technical difficulties.
Yes. What are we
you
streaming?
guys?
What are we on right now? What are we using? Friendster? What is this site
Yeah, this
we're on?
is OF. This is OF.
Oh, we're streaming from your
How you
OnlyFans.
doing, Kevin?
I'm doing good.
Kevin's on a
That's
potato.
good.
Potato.
Yeah, no, just ignore it. It'll look better in post. This is the best we got for
As
right
long
now.
as I get to be in the middle, underneath or something.
Yeah, we'll definitely put you on the bottom.
Definitely,
We know
definitely
you're
a bottom.
a fan of being on the bottom. Yeah. So, Kevin, did you listen to what was probably the world's best episode of Trash to Cash?
I was just telling Carrie when you were trying to fix technical difficulties that I have not listened to it yet. I can't. I feel
Kevin,
like
I think it's a little disrespectful that you won't come on the shows, but to actually go and not even partake in
I have
them.
listened to all of them except for one, and I will listen to this one.
Can I read you? Can I read you some of the comments over on the Patreon? Kevin, you might have already seen these, but
Mike
if you guys
left
aren't on the
us,
Patreon,
I think a 32-page novel. It was beautiful. I cried. I laughed.
that one's on YouTube. But on the Patreon, we had comments such as this. Okay. From Graham and Pop's Vintage. Graham's and Pop's Vintage. Well, there it is. Y'all peaked. Good luck creating a better episode than this. Okay? Okay.
That was a shot at me.
Yeah.
That was.
That was a shot at me. Hey,
Definitely.
I'm out. I will have a wonderful life without you two. You replaced me.
You're like 105 episodes deeper than I thought you'd get, honestly. So it's been all a blessing.
You did last longer than we expected. No,
Exactly.
and then over on the YouTube, the comment, like Carrie said, the comment from Mike was glowing. And Kevin, I'm almost scared to read this because I know it's going to upset you just a little.
It's going to.
Did you already read
I'm
it?
already ticked, and I'm just ticked thinking about it. Mike, assuming that's Death Pile Picker.
No, Mike Camp. Mike Camp.
Camparelli.
He said, "What a coup! An impromptu interview with Tekken Sports." A real treat, and the ironic funny thing is that only 6 people will ever see this episode. But
that is funny.
That has never been what you guys are about. It was a great segment and opportunity to see Tekken's different perspective. All in all, entertaining episode. Way better than any that Kevin have ever been on. I hope Kevin quits. Maybe a little.
A few things that were added on.
No, there was a lot of people saying it was an amazing episode because it honestly was, like, organically, like...
I'm sure you guys learned a lot.
There were some good moments, like when he pulled out a chart and we had no idea what it was, and it was from eBay,
calculator.
Apparently. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like literally he was just showing us what I guess most people know exists in eBay, Kevin, something called an impressions chart.
Yeah.
Me and Harry, our brains kind of... We're like, what is
people
this
are
voodoo
impressed
you
with my
have?
eBay listings.
Yeah. So... Yeah, I don't know. We learned a lot. The Tekken, I will say, like, it's a little... Me and Carrie at the end were like, it's kind of sad this is behind a paywall, because this is, like, a really good episode.
Maybe you guys should go watch it again. Take notes.
Yeah, we should. Yeah, because I zoned out. He actually caught me and yelled at me for zoning out. It was kind of like you were there,
many times. I had to be double tuned in.
It's hard to listen to
cover
words.
For Dave.
Yeah, he was doing like math and telling me how to list, and he was talking about daily listings. I mean, so many people in the comments were...
He kept saying, you have
my
3
favorite
degrees,
quote of
and
the
then
week.
he'd give me a math problem, which was ridiculous. I didn't get a math degree. I had a tutor just to get a C in college.
And Paul's merch.
Yeah.
Paul's merch said, my favorite quote of the week, do you guys not know beep about eBay? Tekken Sports. He did say that to us. And then he said, Tekken, he quoted Tekken again, and what do you guys do for a living?
Make videos.
I just basically spin whatever Don makes on eBay.
He's so used to people... I think Tech is so used to like talking to people who are like really good students. He doesn't have a lot of bad actors in his class, so it was good for us to show him, why Kevin's here. Kevin likes being the teacher to the.
He doesn't realize we're sharing pizza pie.
Problem what people don't realize. Yes, I was a teacher. I taught, whatever. I was a terrible student. I hated school. Hated it.
That doesn't surprise me.
I loved certain subjects and I loved certain teachers, and I wasn't disinterested in learning. I love learning. Hated school.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. And I will say, just to like carry it over, whose merch, Paul's merch, went to our question of the week. Like, we ask everyone on the Patreon for questions for the show, and Paul's merch's question, Carrie, for this week was, do you guys know beep about eBay?
Honestly,
we've already established the answer is no.
Honestly, I can't log back in. I've been logged out for 6 months. I hope everything's going okay.
Listen, it reminds me of the comments because I saw a new comment come across, a review on Apple Podcasts, and it reminded me of the old ones. Like don't listen to this for any reselling knowledge. Don't do whatever.
Yeah. Those are good. It's not a good show, guys.
What did he
Thanks
say?
for coming
We're reselling
anyways.
adjacent. We're like the spam
he did. He
of
said
reselling.
we're a reselling adjacent show.
It
So, Kevin,
feels
here's
like
my pitch.
reselling.
Here's my
it
pitch.
tastes like reselling, but when you touch it, it just wiggles a little bit.
Here's my pitch. Now that we know Tekken's watching the show every week.
Hey,
Tech, we think you need to bring us into your Patreon as 1099 employees.
Yes.
And we do a secret weekly show in the Tekken Patreon for pay, of course.
Oh my
it's
gosh,
like,
dude.
Reselling adjacent show, with Kevin,
just
Carrie,
a
and Dave.
reseller,
So, we get some
water
exposure.
Bring the fun crowd in.
Yeah, bring the fart crowd
so he
in.
can charge $30 a pop.
Yeah, well, no, it's more so we get 1099 money from Tech.
No.
You're missing the point here, Kevin.
Well, I
It's
think YouTube
kind of like a
could-
club, like a reseller club that everybody can come and join in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we could bring Rockstar. He could be our third.
Or you
if
could
you don't want
just
to come, Kev.
monetize the video you did with him and just make money off of that.
I like it.
We
I
should
like
have
it being like a
Rockstar
little
come in
secret
for
treat.
a minute every one of our We should actually hire Rockstar for a minute in every one of our podcasts. Have him come in and then just review one of those parking lot fiascos that he does all the time. Like just critique somebody's parking or whatever for a minute, and then we just cut it off.
Take the place of Jelly Hands, at the
Exactly.
end.
Listen, I do want to thank Tech because he got us 2 new members over on YouTube and 2 on Patreon. I'm going to give him credit. We got 4 new members, and I think it's Tech's fault.
He's
so
not
thank
kidding.
you, Tech.
He's got enough money. And he's not getting the cut of that
episode.
Those the Patreons were $5, so that's $20.
We actually
I
make enough money to be noticed now. Like when I get paid from Bread Boo Incorporated or whatever the heck it is, it's actually noticeable. Like I'm like, oh wow, that's money I didn't expect. I never expect anything from this, and then when it appears, I'm like, I guess I'm gonna waste that. I'm gonna go spend that on cards.
Wasted the first. How long is this? We were on here for almost 8 minutes.
No, we've only been on here for.
Said nothing. We've said nothing.
It has not been. It has been like 3 minutes.
Anything. I'll tell you this.
When have we said something?
3 minutes with us feels like 8 minutes, though. That is fair.
Let me tell you, since we're saying nothing, let me say nothing about the Reseller Leftovers podcast. If it's a marginally good podcast in comparisons to others, I'm entertained. I like to watch it. The last episode was hilarious. I mean, just Dan was going. Dan was in rare. I've never seen him like this. Like Jimmy and Joe couldn't stop laughing. Like not laughing like with everybody. Like couldn't stop themselves from laughing.
I'll have to listen to it. The problem is like whenever I try to watch a podcast right now, I'm like I could either watch another podcast or I could watch Breaking Bad.
Or
you could see them cooking. They're cooking, Carrie. They're cooking.
And
when I listen to a podcast,
120.
When I listen to a podcast, I like it to be 58 minutes of J Ride talking with 2 minutes of Sunny. That's what I enjoy. That's the kind of mix I want for a podcast.
Those are the
Those
greatest.
are my favorite.
Hey, I'm smoking a butt tonight. Speaking of meth and Breaking Bad, I'm smoking a butt tonight. But it's a pork butt, guys. Hey, see what I did there?
Are you smoking it overnight?
Yeah,
'Cause it's like late, isn't it? For you to be like cooking?
At midnight. I'm gonna start it at midnight. We got
for the holiday tomorrow, which was yesterday if you're watching.
Yeah,
Happy
Memorial Day,
everybody.
Yes, and Memorial Day happens to be Callie's birthday. Normally on Memorial Day, I'd be headed to the Webster, and I'm sure it's going to be amazing. And Rod's going to be making me jealous all day, sending me pictures of the stuff he's finding.
But
Callie's
going to
have. We talked about this with Tech. Callie's going to have other birthdays, man.
That's
but
true.
Is there going to be another?
Cool.
I mean, there'll be another Webster next year. But when she's just the one kid that would love the Webster would probably be Callie. Honestly,
Callie would love the Webster, but I asked her and she doesn't want to go. Her cousins are here. She, while I'm recording tonight a Flipper episode, I haven't even finished editing it because tonight got off the rails here. But as I'm recording, she comes out. She's like, "Dad, my finger's broken." And I look, and her finger's like a freaking grape. Like, it's like totally wrecked. And I was like, I'm gonna end the episode here. I gotta like go deal with this and parent a little. So we had to take her to the hospital, and it'll be interesting to see what the bill is. I don't know if they said like she didn't actually break it though. She like tore a ligament in the actual finger or something. I don't know.
Did they just give her a stint or whatever?
Yeah, it's in like a sling. What do they call this? Splint.
Like splint. Yeah,
that's the word. Yeah, a spliff. It's in a spliff. And
just wrapped in a spliff.
So we got to wait for that to get better. I don't know, but that now her birthday.
For days.
We rented a giant like 18-foot water slide inflatable. That's how she did it, of course. Typical. Last year she cut up her arm. Yeah, the year before she broke her toe, and now she's done this. So she really has a bad track record with anything you bounce on so far. It's like Carrie on the trampoline. It's not ever a good idea.
Dude, I'd never worked out so hard.
That was
it was
good.
pretty
That was
bad.
a great video.
Thank you. I mean, it showed off my raw athleticism.
You sent me your motivation.
Yeah, I'm still missing a few.
Yeah, you sent me your motivational speeches too.
Yeah, a few of them. I'm still short a few, but yeah, I sent like, because I owe 2 weeks, two of each or something. I still have to do 2 Hairy Tornado ones. The thing is with Hairy Tornadoes, I like to be, I want to be somewhere foreign. I want to be in a different country when I do them, because he's gone all the time now.
Like,
I don't even
you
think
should
he
fly to Europe
resells.
And say,
like just
you
eat
could
a
go to Europe,
McBaguette
be like,
or whatever.
I went to Europe to motivate Hairy Tornado, and this is what I found.
Exactly. Does he even resell anymore at all? Does he make videos? I've stopped watching his videos like 5 years ago, but I'm assuming he's still making them.
Oh, yeah, he makes videos. He made he went thrifting in Europe or something like that.
This is, of course, a reselling podcast, guys, and I know Kevin, you were like deep in the world of picking right now. I bet.
Yeah,
so I'm assuming your weekend went great. Tell me your weekend went great.
Well, it was Memorial Day weekend, so that's not traditionally the best. So, I mean,
yeah,
the weekend
making excuses out the
graduations, and then this one. No, it was fine. It was fine. There wasn't that many sales. There wasn't. And in Raleigh, there was not many sales. Uncle Steve's like, there's like 4 sales. I'm like, no way. I saw 17 on Treasure Map, which was really, really low for all of the Raleigh area. And so there wasn't that many around here. It was okay. We did good. First few sales, we did really, really good, and then it slowed down the rest of the day.
So what would you say, Kevin, is the best brand of tools to buy at a yard sale?
Tools?
Yes.
Best brand? I mean, I always look for Snap-on and Matco.
So if you roll up to a sale loaded with Snap-on and some Cromwell? Is that what it is? Oh, man, I'm having a brain fart right now.
Strap-on tools?
Cromwell. I think it's Cromwell, yeah. Yeah. Cromwell, Milwaukee, and Snap-on.
Milwaukee, yeah.
Okay,
Milwaukee's a city.
Everything's priced individually super high.
Oh,
Every
wow.
Snap-on's priced at $200, $100, $50, like crazy pricing on the Snap-on.
Like,
crazy
did you compare any of those crazy prices to what they actually go for?
Some were close, some were way off. Some were higher than eBay, some were... I mean, he basically admitted he went and looked at actives. Right? He looked at actives. Cornwell, that's the name of the other one. So he looked at actives, and he basically, like... He said, oh, yeah, I looked at actives, and then I put a third of the price on there.
Now, did he know he was looking at actives, or did you tell him he was looking at actives?
No. Yeah, I mean, I saw... He told me a price. Like, he'd say, oh, that's worth $800. And I'd go look it up, and it was worth $200, but there was listings at $800. You know what I mean? So I was able to quickly determine that he was just looking at actives. And so I, though, was a little crazy. I said, how much for everything? Even though individually priced, this whole sale was probably priced at like $8,000 or something.
But you've already laid the groundwork that it's not worth what he's trying to get for it.
No, I never did that.
No,
I probably should have done that, but I didn't.
No
that would have been
preparation.
wise.
He went straight in.
Okay.
Straight in. No,
So
no
I didn't
lube,
even lube
straight
him
in.
up.
When you say
We're in the
he
same
admitted
place.
that he did that,
No, he didn't like admit it. It just he
Okay.
told me. I looked it up on eBay and I put 1/3 of the eBay price.
Okay.
So he told me he did that.
Gotcha.
When I looked up the same thing on eBay, it was very clear he looked at actives.
well,
Not
that's
solds.
why I said okay, gotcha.
Yeah, but I did
You
not
didn't tell
educate
he
him
was
on
looking
eBay
at
solds.
actives.
No, I didn't.
Oh. I probably
and I
would
probably
have.
should've.
I would have
Yeah.
taken 2 things into account. Was it later? What time of day was it? What time did sales start? What
First,
time of day?
he just opened.
Oh, that's not good.
He just opened. Literally just
if
opened.
it was later in the day, then he'd have a whole background context of people not buying his tools.
One person had come in and like fluffed him up a lot. The guy who didn't buy tools was like, oh man, if you sell this on eBay, you get like $400. So there was some guy who had already slated. Yeah, exactly.
Somehow a person who knew less than he did about the resale value.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah. Okay, so he comes back with a price of $1,500.
Okay.
Buy out the tools, all the tools. And I was like, and he's like, and I'll throw in this Kirby vacuum, one of those stand-up Kirby vacuums.
Put that in your pile.
I'll give you 100 and you can keep.
You already have like
Kirby.
7 of those in your storage thing.
Yeah, you know me and vacuums, yeah. And he's like, oh, and I'll throw in this, and he's like pointing at, and I'll throw in all these massagers. He had like these those little like gun massagers that like you put on your neck and they do that. But they weren't like a good brand. They were like Amazon crap. Yeah, your neck.
Yes.
Your neck. The neck of something.
Your neck, specifically
and then,
your neck, Kevin.
And I don't know what Kevin and his friends do with it. It's a totally different ball
on the lake all day.
I was.
I don't know. So he said 1,500, and I was like, oof. Because in my brain, I was sitting there. I was like, I'm about to make like my biggest yard sale buy ever. I'm willing to spend 800 to 1,000.
You got to give me a picture of like what's there. Like how much are we talking about here?
I don't know. I'm not a tool guy. I just kind of.
Do you know?
There was
the dark,
there
bro.
was wrenches, Kevin. Wrenches, screwdrivers.
All I knew was
hammer.
Give me, like, volume.
Planes, levelers.
Okay, so let's see. There's one of those like little 6-foot plastic tables, and there's like piles of socket wrenches or sockets, and the sockets are big. They're like 2-inch, 2 1/4,
They all
1
big.
1 3/4, big sockets, right? And they're snap-on. And then next to it, there's this Cornwell brand.
2 inches isn't big.
No,
and then there's a Cornwell brand, and so I look up the Cornwell brand a little bit, and I'm like, Cornwell seems solid too. It's a decent brand, but it's not like Snap-on level of a brand. And there's a bunch of Cornwell stuff, and then at
What's the
bottom,
Milwaukee stuff?
power tools, like all the
I know that.
commercial
like
impact wrenches.
8?
4 of them.
Cases, bags.
1 with a case, 3 with no cases, but they all had batteries. They had chargers. They also had rigid nailers. They had rigid air compressor. They had what's it called, the painter, like a pro spray painter thing. And then they have like on the ground like plastic boxes full of stuff too, like 20-inch torque wrenches that are snap-on. There's a big crescent wrench that's a snap-on, like a 2-incher. Like, the bigger the better with a lot of those tools, right?
People. Gotcha.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Well, you asked me for context.
Oh, okay, but I just wanted a picture. I didn't want
he asked. Yeah,
so I did the carry. All this to say, I did the carry, and I said, would you take $1,250, not wanting to pay $1,250 and instantly regretting $1,250.
Yep.
And he said, fine. And so we agreed to $1,250, and then the whole day was wrecked because I was like, "Oh, it was a terrible buy. It was a terrible buy. It was a terrible buy."
Welcome
I ended
to
up
my life.
I like shot my whole wallet at that one sale. It was like the first sale I was at. I didn't buy anything the rest of the day. I ended up leaving early. I was like, I'm done. I'm done.
I'll make you feel worse. So in my mind, I'm thinking, from what you're telling me, right? What you're telling me, he's priced at eBay value. Essentially, that's what he's priced at.
Yeah.
Maybe even higher. I don't know. On average, he's
law of averages,
at
at eBay, yeah.
Right. So if he's willing to take a deal on it at $1,500, that probably means that it's closer to 60 to 70% of what his original price was. So $1,250, you're probably buying at half of eBay.
Well, that's not the case. So what I didn't realize, you know enough to be dangerous.
Yeah.
Carrie always says that.
You pick 5 or 6 items,
and then you got to adapt.
Like, okay,
you got to
I
adapt
can make my
and
money
be
on
dangerous.
these, and you got all this stuff.
Yeah. That's exactly it, Kev. Like
and
the
then there's
wrench.
a surprise that's way
I look
better
up
than
the
you
wrench
thought.
on the ground, and that one wrench on the ground is like $300 to $400. That big one that I saw, and I was like, okay, so this makes me feel good. I know I can sell those power tools for like $300. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, all right, so that's like $600, right? Maybe $100 for the Kirby vacuum if it's a nice.
Offer like
700,
8,
whatever.
9, 10.
Well, I offered 1,000. I did.
Okay, you
I
offered 1,000.
I offered 1,000. You shot me down.
1,500. You said 1,250.
I said $1,250.
Okay.
I finished
That's
listing
what you should
them
offer
today.
800.
I finished listing them today. What do you think I'm at in listings?
700.
Well, you're obviously happy about it. Oh no.
No, you're probably
700. Carrie says.
4,500. 4,500.
No, wait.
Okay.
I think. Okay, so 1,500. He's happy about it. I'm gonna say Carrie's pretty close. I'm gonna go a little higher.
Okay. $7,400.
There you go.
There's
$1,250 to $7,400. So that was, even though it shot my whole
what you're
entire
failing to
wallet in
remember,
one
dude,
sale.
is after gas, after the time it takes you to list that, the shipping
That's
supplies.
true. That $5,000 is nothing. After
Fees.
Sally's hospital bill with my horrible insurance, I basically lost money
Yeah,
on the
dude,
day.
you lost a lot of money. You were going bankrupt.
That was pretty
That's
cool.
what we call in the business world. It's bankruptcy.
No, the trick actually was little tiny socket adapters
Sockets.
and stuff.
Oh,
The
really?
adapters, the little torquey things, $60.
Yeah, I love it. I
$50,
like
$60.
anything that adapts.
40, it was crazy. These little tiny things that I would normally just think are trash. $48.
So what he
$53.
did, I can tell you right now, is he probably didn't look up every socket.
No, exactly.
So
he just looked at the big
stuff.
items. And so for the big items, if I had only sold those, maybe I'd be at $2,000 to $2,500. So you're probably right. But he wasn't putting any of the value
so
on the
what are you
littles.
getting on the big sockets?
I already sold several. I sold one for $100. Oh, the sockets, the actual just individual sockets. The best one was $65.
Yeah.
And then there was one that was $55, and a few that were $40. So those add up too.
Sockets
7 of
are
those,
good.
8 of those. So it was
They're
cool.
good thrift machine style.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah,
I
you know a
enjoyed
little
that.
bit about
that was my
tools,
big buy
though,
of the
Dave.
week.
I feel like you feel kind of comfortable with tools, right? I know you've talked about them before.
I'm getting there. I actually don't hate listing them either. I kind of enjoy listing them, which is always a good thing. So if you can find something you don't hate listing that you can find, that's a win. Although I don't see Snap-on very often. I'm sure you don't either.
No,
like
I
Snap-on,
hardly
even
ever
I
see
know.
it. And when I do,
Even
it's
I know
pricey.
Snap-on is good.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, well, that's the thing, Kevin. If you see it, it's expensive because the only people selling it are the people that just died, and it's the estate sale, and they know what it's worth.
Yeah.
Well, here's the
Because most
thing.
guys, they keep it forever. It's got a
Keep it
lifetime
forever.
warranty.
I don't need to really
I found
learn.
some Snap-on screwdrivers. Yeah.
They have screwdrivers, like nice
I
ones
know
that
you
are
don't.
worth money.
Yeah, Snap-on.
Dude, I
has
was listing
screwdrivers.
screwdrivers for
World's
$30 a piece.
Yeah,
Dang.
screwdrivers.
See, I have
That's
Dawn,
crazy.
who was a plumber pipe fitter for 15 years, so she knows everything about tools. So if there's ever a good tool, she'll.
Yeah.
I mean, like obviously she
She'll
loves
find.
tools.
She'll sniff it out. Kevin is also
Oh,
a
my
tool.
goodness. Hey,
Kevin-
J Ride Flips, last episode. The second Carrie said Pat Riley, I immediately thought cocaine as well.
I feel like
Well, okay,
Kevin.
listen.
Kevin kind of reminds me of J Ride Flips in like 50 to 60 years. Like they kind of have the same OP
Really?
vibe. Honestly, like gooberness. You know what I mean?
I see it. So the big change that Tech was telling us to do, Kevin, since you didn't watch the show,
All right, I
is
won't.
to stop. Well, at least me
You
personally.
can't tell people here because then your
Stop.
grand
Yeah.
scheme of
Well, I already
getting new
spoiled this.
Patreon.
I already spoiled this in my Flipper video.
We
I
got-
mean, he
we got
talked about
4
a
people
milkshake.
we've
There's a
already
lot there.
cashed
He was
in.
very humanized.
Yeah, we humanized him.
Yeah,
That's what we did to you. We made
He's
you
actually,
less
Kevin,
of a puppet
he's our
and more of a
age,
real
too,
boy.
you know?
Yeah, I can tell he's just slightly younger than me.
Yeah, he's same
Yeah.
birth year as me. So,
I'm like,
no, he was saying that one of the biggest things is to list consistently daily, which I've heard people say a million times. I've heard them say it a million times.
Really?
You've said it, everyone said it, yeah. But he was showing us graphs that evidenced and
Yeah,
proved
graphs.
that it does actually work, which I hadn't seen before. I'm sure they're out there, but I'm not the kind of person that's going to go study on purpose. So he kind of forced me to study a little bit, and that was
He tricked
interesting.
us
Do you
into
post
studying.
daily?
graphs that
He
show
tricked us into
that- I
learning,
mean,
which was weird.
Listen, okay. I don't want to cast any dispersions, but
I don't know what that means, so go ahead.
Doesn't even know
this
words.
isn't.
I don't know
this
either
isn't-
word.
This isn't.
Is it
If you
aspirations? Is that
list
when you have trouble
I-
breathing? I'm
I
confused.
guess the argument is do it every day.
Yeah.
Don't skip a day, right? That's the argument because it might be better than batching. And Dave, you've said that before, and I don't know how many times you hear people say it, but you sit and list forever, and then you go do something else, and you don't list for weeks.
Yeah.
But is the argument here? Does it correlate to daily, or does it just correlate to having consistent listings throughout? That's my question.
I don't know that it correlates to daily. He didn't break it down to that level. But the thing he was showing us was that if you do a
list more,
batch
you'll make
and then
more money.
if you do a batch
correlated.
and do nothing for multiple weeks, eBay will not send as many impressions your way.
I
And
feel
he
like
had some graphs that proved that you will not
I
get
feel
as
like
many
it was
impressions.
listing. It was
Yeah.
listing every day, but you obviously could batch out those. But then you want to put them in your draft bank and release them every day, like the
But
Kraken.
this is something that is novel to you two clowns. Is that what we're saying?
No,
here? Oh,
I've heard it a million times, but just not
Yeah.
from anyone
No.
that I respect.
I have
so much.
I've never sold anything on. I've never sold anything on eBay I didn't list on eBay. That's 100% of my sales I listed on eBay. So what I took out from that was like, if I want to sell this item on eBay, it's got to be there as a listing available. You know what I'm saying? And that's where my mind blew, because I'm like, I have all this stuff that I'm never going to list. It's just going to sit there and it's going to topple over.
I will say this. I consistently have, if I'm like put my store on vacation mode, and I'm not I'm not shipping anything and all that stuff. If I'm consistently listing during that time period, my sales don't hardly go down at all. Mm-hmm. And that's what I do usually when I'm on vacation.
Do you schedule or you draft and just hit list?
I have kind of a combo. Pictures? So they're in drafts already, but they're not ready to go. So I'll finish them up and then list it. Finish them up, then list it.
Why do you have to finish them? Like, what's wrong with them?
They're just makes blank drafts with pictures in them. So I gotta fix it.
Oh, she doesn't do sell similar, or she does?
No. She doesn't do anything. Just sell similar, throw the pictures in. It's done.
Gotcha.
It's not always right. Whatever. It's just a quick.
Okay.
Deal.
I bet you that dog.
I mean, I guess that's one of those.
I bet you that dog is driving
employees.
Kevin crazy right now. So calm down, Kevin.
He's like just imagining the life. We're not doing that anymore, Carrie. We're not doing that.
No, I just said it was driving crazy. You're
joke.
the one that took it to the next level, and it was wrong. You should feel bad.
I stopped myself.
I just
stopped
implied.
myself from going to the next level. Yeah. Well, anyway, so I've been trying. I've been trying.
You learned all this.
I've been listing drafts. I've been drafting for the first time in forever. I've been drafting.
You really have never done drafts before.
No. I mean, I've maybe done one or two because I needed another picture or something. But yeah. But no, I've never been a drafter. I just post them all, and then is what it is.
Okay. You know, can I give you a little Eric OBX deal?
Sure.
You're comping stuff at a yard sale or something, and you find the comp. You know what he does when he finds the
similar.
comp?
Sell
similar, and he's got it in drafts.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an
Pretty
idea.
good.
I've thought about that. Yeah.
We just adds the pictures
But
to it.
here's,
and there
my problem with that though is by the time I've actually gotten to that item, I forgot what it's worth.
Uh-oh.
I don't even know how to turn my volume off on here.
You're gonna want to turn
I
it off.
Mute.
You're muted. Yeah. So Carrie, the problem is if I do something like that, by the time I go to list it, I've already forgotten what it should be listed at, how much it's worth. So then I don't have to go research it again.
You didn't see what he did for like half a second.
He just disappeared. Well, that's because he is actually a wizard. He's not a wizard. He's
was
Dracula.
Sitting and then he was gone, man. I don't know if that's going to be fixed in post.
That's why. That's actually. It's a good explanation of why Kevin is so rich. Because it's one of those things, like, I don't know if you ever saw Altered Carbon on Netflix. Great show. You ever saw, well, at least a season. Did they only do one season of that?
I've heard of it.
Dude, you should go watch Altered Carbon season 1. No. It's good, though. It's like sci-fi. Okay. But, like, there's some people that live, and this is like a minor spoiler, but not really. There's some people that live, like, hundreds of years in that show, and anyone who lives hundreds of years is just, like, by default rich. Because you just invest anything for 200 years. And it's going to grow to the point where you're wealthy, right? So
that's true.
I think that's why Kevin, the Commonwealth picker, has so much money, because he's a vampire and he's been around for like hundreds of years, and he's been able to invest long-term investments.
He found Reginald Coca-Cola and invested in it. He found all the snake oil.
There's a little blood dripping down your lip there, Kev.
Yeah,
little
Kevin,
blood dripping down your lip.
Did you see the proof that I sent y'all?
Yeah, he's a vampire. We've covered this.
Oh my gosh.
Dracula
I
Kevin.
was gonna say, investing or whatever y'all were talking about. I don't know, but I sent y'all a post. Somebody posted in our Facebook group of all places, and was like, "Hey, I made a Bonanza sale," and somebody puts, "Hey, be careful," or something. Kevin owns that, and the people are responding. Really, I didn't know that. Oh, thanks for telling me.
It is funny.
Like,
it is funny that they're finally. I mean, we've mentioned that you own Bonanza for months, maybe even years, and they're finally catching on that you own Bonanza.
No,
100%. He bought them out. When did you buy them out, Kevin? And in the podcast here, guys, you don't need to hear the details, but Kevin did buy out Bonanza.
A trash to casher, posted that in there as a joke. I would assume.
Yeah,
but everybody
believes
it underneath it, and so I mean, there's going to be 50,000 members soon in that Trash Cash group, and I bet you 25,000 of them don't even know who we are.
There's hundreds that think you own Bonanza. Probably there's got to be a good amount of them.
There are.
I love it. That's the kind of
rumor I never figured out how to. I never figured out how to fix my booth, by the way. It's still, like, in
Really?
limbo. Yeah, my booth... Oh, wait, your booth is in vacation mode. To restore your items, click here.
You might as well not even listen.
You have to...
Because none of it.
You have to go outside,
actually...
Dave. You have to go outside of your garage, and you just have to yell really loud. As loud as you can.
Just like it's
Vacation
on.
off
Update your
Bonanza.
booth.
And if the wind carries just right, they'll have it
I'm
turned
doing
off
it.
for you
I'm
by the
doing it.
morning.
Oh my gosh! I gotta look at
Yeah,
my
so
store.
you know what? It's cool. I mean, I think my booth might be fixed, guys. There was a
Bonanza
comment in the
sales
last
are
video.
about to roll in.
There was a comment in the last video that says, "Why does Dave have to talk for 40 minutes about himself in every episode?"
that's
So that's
true.
why I intentionally told that
Well,
super
that's
long tool story at the
That is
beginning
true.
just to trigger them.
That is true.
Trigger 'em about yourself.
That is
well,
true.
He's the only
There's-
one having the big success picking right now. Although when I watch the videos back, I'm like, dang, that was a good day. Sometimes
There
you
you
don't
go.
feel it out there, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's because you're like in zombie mode. You don't even like pay attention. You just buy. You're like a vacuum cleaner.
Yeah.
Imagine if Kevin did a
So
40
what
minute
did you-
story. Like, would we lose every single viewer? Would our graph just go straight down?
Oh my
Like, I can hear people
gosh.
like listening for like the first 2 minutes, but after 2 minutes, there's nothing Kevin says that's interesting at that point at all about any
I
topic.
gotta
That's true.
find this review that I saw. Somebody
that's
leave
true.
here. I'm gonna get this review.
Okay, I think my Bonanza booth is up and running. I think I'm
congratulations.
Go buy
officially
something.
live. I'm
Go
live
buy
on
something.
Bonanza, so someone
I
go buy
can't
something.
wait. I can't wait for that Band on Bonanza video. I can't wait to... I screwed up this Bonanza order, double selling. Somehow you're going to double list your Bonanza stuff, even though you don't even have it on Vindu.
Even though it's not even possible, I'll find a way. So, Carrie, I know you didn't go to yard sales because morning is hard for you, but you went to the
Morning
thrift.
is hard.
You went to the
I've been
thrift, and
thrifting
you
a
were
lot.
bragging about the
Yeah,
thrift.
I saw
Yeah.
the cat. Was it Cat in the Hat shirt? That was cool.
So what happened?
Yeah.
How much profit?
Oh, I don't...
5,000?
I don't...
Will you
Look,
be
I
making
don't-
5,000? I know someone who will be.
I don't. Listen. I don't look at the world as myopically as you do. Okay, I don't look at it as how much money I'm. I think about the fun I had and the people I touched and helped. That's how I look at it as a.
Yeah, how many?
as a
You
good
should
thrift.
not be touching people. You already have a restraining order like for
Listen,
7
if
people.
you're at the thrift store and
Sonny
I'm around,
has said 100 feet or more.
if you're at a thrift store and I'm around, just be. No, I'm just kidding. We found a lot of stuff. Like I found.
Wait, where are you going with that, Carrie?
I was like nowhere good, so I stopped.
Threaten the whole audience.
Exactly. I'm like, I probably shouldn't do that. I probably should hold back on that.
I will be touching you.
No, we found. I mean, and by we, I found a bunch of like $5 to $15 stuff, and Dawn found good stuff. Dawn's been in a plate mode lately.
Okay,
She's
so
been
I saw
finding
something.
all these plate
yeah,
sets.
I was gonna say. So a lot of plates and glass in there, which I was surprised that your cart was full of.
Yeah.
Were they like big money plates and glass? Okay.
They
or
were
were they like Libby glasses?
Crate and Barrel. This time it was Crate and Barrel. Is that what it's called? You know the
Really?
place where like you go and they're at the mall and
Yeah,
like
yeah,
a
yeah.
spoon
No, I
is
know.
$57, like where Kevin goes,
Wait,
like
is
that
it,
kind of a place. I don't know
do
if they
those
have a
have
Crate and
fast
Barrel
sell
there.
through that sort of stuff?
I don't know. We're gonna find
Do they
out.
sell
Dawn's been
fast?
doing really well with the
Okay.
plate sets. We bought those Swedish mid-century modern like green polka dot plates for $2 like a plate 3 weeks
remember
ago.
that,
And she
yeah.
sold like 2 or 3 sets. We made like $500-$600 on those. And in the meantime, if we're gonna be completely fair, I probably sold $70 to $80 $2 cards. So samesies. Me and Dawn have both pulled in the equal amount of money.
Samesies, basically the samesies.
No, I've been
Kevin, I'm like, I really
I just had a Vera Bradley bag sale.
nice.
yeah, I've got a Vera
32
Bradley.
bucks.
I found it the other
They
day.
don't sell those. Nobody buy them.
Yeah.
Thank you for ruining
Well,
that for me.
I Kevin, really
Yeah,
do wish you
yeah.
had listened to that Tekken show because there was like
Going
8
to
things.
listen to the Tekken
I know, but there
show.
was 8
He's so
things I wanted
upset.
your opinion on in this episode.
Dude,
I
I
wanted
would've.
to
It
know
was
what you
crazy
thought
busy.
about his other stuff he was saying. Like he was talking about if you want to
You were-
actually like
You
streamline
were
your
getting
business. He was
drunk at
talking
a
about the
lake. You could
benefits.
have watched when you were getting drunk
Yeah.
at the lake,
That is
Kevin.
the stuff that
The benefits-
I enjoy.
You'll eat it up, right? The benefits of like niching down and all this. I think you're gonna really like get
it's
into that. Like you might get
That's
your
the correct
nipples erect.
pronunciation.
Yeah, nice shay. Yeah, what was the deal? Whose boat were you in today? Was that like a swinger convention?
Brandon. And
Any
Sam,
boat that
my
Kevin's on
friends.
is a swinger boat. It
Nice.
doesn't matter. Any. It's going to be just
Did you poop in the lake? Well,
Hey
where
guys,
did you
check
poop out
this
there? It's not
out.
like the thing
Just
has a
prairie
bathroom.
dogging off the side of the boat.
Dude,
you
it
take
happens.
care of that stuff before. It's like yard sale. You
Yeah,
got to take
what
care
if-
of it before.
What if you
What
have
happens
IBS?
if you have to poop
Then
on
what
a
do you
boat?
do?
Do you poop in a
Well-
bucket or do you poop in the ocean, like for realsies? What do you do? Like when
No,
you
you
went
poop in the water.
shrimping,
You poop
when
in the
you went
ocean.
on the
For realsies,
when you went
for
on-
realsies.
Dave, when you went on Cat's
Scalloping.
you went on the shrimping boat or whatever you went on. How did you poop?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't poop, but we saw some lady pooping in the lake. We saw some lady pooping in the lake. She was
Can I
dropping
shift
trow.
this
Is that
back
what
to
they call it?
Something like, let's go back to niching down. How's
Niche.
that? Can we do
Okay.
that for a second? I want to
Yeah,
get your
yeah.
opinion on
Nicheing.
something because I don't want to niche down. The reason I don't want to niche down,
You didn't
well,
have
there's
to touch
multiple
your
reasons,
nipples
but
when you said that. By the way,
Don't you think? Because there's
he
different
did.
ways you can niche down, but what you can source in that niche is important, right? So for tech, and I was talking to Kerry about this. Don't laugh. Where he's at, there's an abundance of stuff, and you can niche down into certain
he
categories.
argued about this
But
extensively.
listen, I'm going to argue against myself for a second. You can do it anywhere, and you can source, because I know people who live here in Lynchburg who source very niche down and do very, very well because they're doing online auctions, they're making connections, they're doing whatever, and they're getting stuff sent to them. So I'm not saying you can't do it. But if you're like me and you, Dave, you love picking, you love going to garage sales and doing all that stuff for your it's harder. It's hard. You got to make a decision as to how you source, what you enjoy. And there is no way in God's green earth I'm sitting on a computer and sourcing auctions.
So
from all
I
over the
said this,
country.
and Kevin,
Not happening.
you're going to spoil the whole private episode. But
Oh, well.
I said it to him. I said, if you do just close, doesn't it feel like a job? And he said,
Yes.
I need it to
You
feel
want-
like a job.
Exactly.
For me to succeed, I
There
need
you
to
go.
feel like
and
I'm
I
at a
need
job.
it to not feel like a job.
I agree. I already
Because
had a
I would
job
go
for a
get
very
a
long
job.
time,
That's
and I
exactly
made
right.
more there.
No, I want it
so
to
I'm
feel
good.
like the exact opposite of a job. The exact, literal exact opposite.
Yes.
The minute it starts to
Yes.
feel even
Yeah.
remotely like a job, I rage against that machine.
He also
100%.
said he would not hire me and Carrie to work for him.
No,
which
that's
is
fair.
Can I make another point? And I actually
Yes.
made this on a video. I don't know I think it was not a very watched video, but I think it was good. Or maybe I haven't even edited it yet. Anyway,
Yeah,
but
nobody
there
knows.
are different personality traits. Every human being has a different personality, but there are certain categories of those personalities. And so when you get these people who hate a YouTuber, like they hate Dave, or they hate me, or they hate, Harry Tornado, or they hate tech, or they hate Daily Refine, or they hate whatever, it's because their personality type just doesn't line up with that person, to be perfectly honest with you. And their drive, like tech's drive, and wanting it to be like a job and being some people's personality trait, they're not that person. And so they're going to gravitate towards this podcast. Now, I will say this podcast has really done a lot of good, and a lot of other people have joined in my
I'd
opinion,
say
where
we've
all these
changed the
different types
reselling
of
world.
people can get along. Of course. I mean, look, Josh Gall commented on here.
Yeah,
He
Josh.
said something nice. He said, I laughed this whole episode. Great job, guys.
Wow.
I think we're helping.
He's the
We're
opposite.
helping.
I don't even believe
right?
he watched it. I don't even believe
Yeah.
he watched it.
We're
I
helping
think
all
he's
these
just trying to
people
get
who
people
are so
over to his
serious.
show.
Just relax a little bit, guys. Listen.
But listen,
we all suck
seriously,
at eBay. It's
you used to
okay.
hear-
It's not just me.
You
we
used
all
to
suck.
see a lot more of this way of selling and this full time or
Yeah.
this whatever, and they would hate people like Josh, or not that Josh. That was Josh Gall, by the way.
Harold.
But there's different, and they used to go at each other's throat, and I just don't see that as much as I used to.
We just spread the love. We
Seriously.
share the love. We're
this is a
lovers,
free-
not
People
fighters.
resell how
Free
they
love
wanna resell.
podcast.
Free market.
Everybody's
Burn
in a
your
different
bra, Carrie.
situation.
Burn
Burn
the
your
bra,
bra.
guys. Burn Fahrenheit 451. Burn it.
But
Burn
that a
some
book,
books,
right?
too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're burning books too, guys. We don't want to learn
I'm going to
anything.
continue.
School sucks.
If you don't learn
Mr.
anything,
Brown's the worst teacher.
if you learn one
think he
thing
cooks
from this
meth.
podcast, it's school sucks. Quit your job and just
Oh
wing
my
it and see what
gosh.
happens. Somehow we're
Do
surviving.
you think,
Yeah.
do you think a retiree who's trying to make an extra $400, $600, $800 a month, having fun with their wife,
think you're
going
the
out
person-
and picking yard
perfect
sales,
person
do you
to
think
ask. What do
they
you
have
think?
any desire to follow Tech's plan? And I'm not saying that critically, because there's obviously a massive amount of people who want to do that to escape the job they hate.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, there's a whole bunch of.
Well, I think tech
different
appeals to
directions.
the like the people who want to make millions of dollars a year doing this, or hundreds of thousands, which a lot of people do. Honestly, a lot of people come into this and they want to make as much as humanly possible. Honestly, so I mean, it makes sense.
And as far as content goes, I mean, just my audience is not the audience that's like, obviously. I mean, that's like, oh, this is the way to go to make $200,000 net a year. They're not following
Your audience,
me.
Kevin,
And
I
you
would
shouldn't
guess.
follow me.
I feel like your audience is like 90% people who have autoplay on YouTube and are just like too tired to click off. That's what I feel like your audience is.
Speaking of, you should see this video. I feel like that today. This picker video today. It's,
Why? 'Cause
Dave,
it's
you look
boring?
at it. This thumbnail is terrible. The title's terrible. There's no correspondence. The video's funny. It's good, but it's
Did
not
you-
like crazy. And it's
Am I
going
in it?
nuts. It's like
let's see,
10,000
it's-
above
We should
my
look at
next
his.
number
We should
one.
look at his
Millionaire
Flipper
garage.
page to see.
Oh my
if
gosh,
he's-
you did the millionaire garage sale. I'm getting so sick of that title. Like,
But that's what I'm
literally,
saying.
Hustle at Home Mom just did it this
Listen,
week.
I
Like,
had nothing on
Kayla's
this
done
sale.
it. Paul's done it. You all
I've done
are
it.
just posers.
But every time I go to the lake, it's
Seriously.
like these houses are worth like $3 million, and they're having little podunk
The
garage sales.
title is going to
Cracks me
become
up.
less and less useful as more and more houses become $1 million. By the
Yeah,
way.
Exactly.
That's very true.
You're ruining this
It's like a
title
shanty
for
town,
everybody
$1 million
else.
house. Am I?
Well,
Or Kevin is?
I'm not. I'm not like whatever. There's been 20
I want
of
a
them.
$1 billion title.
Who used to do
$1
that?
billion home.
There's a couple.
I
that used to do
I
that
just
one.
picked Jeffrey Bezos' house, and then it's just some dude who's obviously not Jeffrey Bezos, but you never address it in the video.
Well, listen. The original title was something like that in 10 cent, $1 million garage sales in 10-cent price tags or something like that. Do I still have that on there? I think I took it off because
No,
this
that's
lady,
not on there
she was
anymore.
literally selling things for 10 cents. I mean, she's living in a $3 million
yeah.
house on
This
the
is
lake,
what we
and
need.
She's got bags marked. I'm like, the bags worth 3 cents.
We need somebody
I like
creative
my
to
title.
do a yard
Sometimes-
sale. We need somebody creative to do a yard sale.
Mm-hmm.
Do one of those Mr. Beast circles, right, that you can't leave. And in the middle of it, just put, like, what's the grail of picking when you're at a yard sale? Like an Atari Jaguar, new in the
The
box.
grail?
Yeah, like something that's worth hundreds or thousands of dollars, and the last reseller to leave the circle gets it. You know what I'm saying? That would be very,
Yeah.
very interesting. I feel like I could do it because I don't want to do anything anyway. I'll just sit there and chill. Honestly, just list. Can I list in that circle? There's no rules. I made the
Carrie
rules.
was
It's my
listing
game.
before we got on, Dave.
Yeah, I was
While we
taking
were
Was he
waiting for
listing?
everybody.
I was taking pictures, yeah.
He was
I have
listing.
listed and drafted so much stuff these last 3 days because I wanted to have a number by the podcast for my tool buy. I wanted to know how I did.
yeah. I got you.
Do you know
Or certainly
what's
by the
interesting?
time you edit that video.
Every one of Kevin's
Yeah.
buys, every one of his buys is a tool buy. Did you know that? Every one of Kevin's, all of them.
Yeah, well, because he is a tool, if you guys wanted to
buys
explain.
stuff.
And he's buying something.
gosh.
Yeah.
I got other topics.
I'm glad we explained
No,
that.
wait,
I should've
Kevin, I
done
did
it
want to say
earlier.
you
Hey,
you
we
did
slipped
a
in
we
the
should explain
rankings
it
in
in more
Cambodia.
details.
I saw that. We
I
slipped
saw that
37
too.
ranking
We-
points. It's terrible.
I don't understand why you didn't fix your thumbnail I messaged you about. It says time to listen 10
I
sellers.
know.
Was it a
It's
10
not
out
that
of
big a
10?
deal. No, it was a 7.
Okay, he did a title
I
and it
just-
literally says
listen,
time to
I've
listen
been busy.
10 sellers.
Yeah,
Been
time to
super busy.
listen
My
10
dad's
sellers.
birthday,
It made no sense.
holidays. It's just. This is my busiest time of the year.
Does your
so it's just
does your
like-
dad
it's like,
still
whatever,
have to
it'll
deliver
be
your
fine.
packages on his birthday, or do you
It's
give
his
him the day
busiest
off?
time of the year. Carrie, it's
Yeah.
my busiest time of the year. He sends us a video of him fishing and drinking
I
on a
know.
boat. Oh, I'm
he's
so
literally
busy.
he's literally pooping
I'm
off
not
the
under the
side deck of a
tree.
boat. I'm like, we don't need to see this, Kevin. It's disgusting, dude. We dropped 36
Sorry
points
you're
It's
so
in
still
busy,
Sweden.
it's my
Kevin.
busiest.
Yeah, we dropped
Listen,
36.
it's my busiest time of the year. But it is reselling and business wise and content wise. But at the same time, my family's doing 8,000 things, and it's a holiday, and you want to go out. That makes it even more busy.
Yeah. Why don't you come to my house tomorrow for the thing, for the little cookout?
Tomorrow, yeah, I'll be
Yeah,
there.
just drive on
It's like a
down there.
6.5
Bud.
I'm coming
hour
in the
flight.
fall.
I'm doing
I've
it.
decided. I think I'm doing Flee Across Florida.
Oh, nice
doing
in
it,
September.
yeah.
That'll be
Yeah.
fun. Yeah,
I'm
it's
going to
a fun
go
sale.
to Mike's house, which is like 14 hours from you. I think maybe I'll see you.
He lives in the butt crack of Florida. I don't know how he managed that.
Hey, so since I haven't asked you yet, we'll just do it right here on the podcast. Are you guys okay with
Kentucky?
you know,
Yeah.
Kentucky? No, yeah, okay. It's Kentucky. All right, good. I'll do it.
Rod told me.
Nice.
So
Very
yes,
cool.
that sounds fun. I
So
don't
he
really
talked
care.
to Mike. I ain't talked to Rod. I like this. Mike is my Rod, and Rod is your Mike.
Mike is your Rod.
good.
Ugh. Heather, the Rod is here.
Somebody, hey, Cherie, can you get Simon to Photoshop that for us? Mike is Kevin's Rod. That would be awesome.
Oh my god!
Oh, I sold
Just
something on Mercury, guys.
Make Mike the tiniest as possible.
So I
Yeah.
got the worst. I know you're used to this, Dave, but I got the worst, positive rating or whatever. Thumbs down. What's your normal? Mine is normally like 91, 99.1, 99.2.
No, mine's low 99s, high 98s, usually
Okay.
in there. Yeah.
Okay.
What did you
Usually
I
get?
got
84.
one 97.6, which is like I never get stuff that low as a proof.
Ew. Yeah,
And it was
97.
about eBay. I argued for eBay taking fees out of shipping,
Wow.
and
Yeah.
people were
You
pissed.
Well,
open
I don't,
Anza
I don't mind
and
them
you're
taking
on the
fees out of
pay,
shipping. I
and
don't
you're on
like
the
them
cut with
taking
eBay.
fees out of tax.
Mhm.
I don't like them taking the fees out of tax.
Mm-hmm.
That's the part that bothers me. What was your position on that?
Well, it's a little bit more nuanced than the shipping part of it. But
Yeah, shipping, I don't really care.
I mean, you know me, I nuance everything. But I do think the argument, because I went through, and Florida's a pain in the butt, by the way. Florida's one of the worst, because you get sales tax based on your state, but then you get sales tax based on your county, and I believe a city tax in some places too. So there's 3 different taxes collected. And can you imagine having to remit all that stuff and handle all that stuff yourself, right? And so my argument was like, okay, I don't like it, but taking a fee, plus they're doing the actual transmission of it and the actual money dollar amount, so there's a fee to that as well. But it's small, right? It's like 2.9% for that fee, as opposed to taking the whole fee out of it for everything. And boy, people did. Now, most people did, and most people agreed with me, but clearly there was a bunch. Forget that for a minute. Forget the tax thing.
I would have had to be listening to forget something. But yes.
I was thoroughly zoned out. So,
Far zoned out.
Forget
forgotten.
the tax thing, the shipping thing, right? You said you don't have a problem with the shipping part of it. So,
Well, because you set the shipping cost.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you could. People used to. I remember eBay when people would say $1, $99 shipping. So just to avoid fees, it was annoying. So I understood when they did that. People take advantage, and then eBay adjusts.
But what I think even the tax portion of it you could handle, because sometimes they don't take a fee out of the tax portion because there's not a fee, because you're selling it to somebody in Oregon. There's no sales tax, right? And I took the different items. I'm like, all right, this is going to Vermont. They're taking 6.3% out. This is going to Jacksonville, Florida. It's taking 7.5% out. So maybe we should complain to our states.
Yeah, write your
As well.
congressman. Okay, so that was really boring, Kevin. I did just look. My last video has a
That's right.
97.4, and my video before that is a 97.9. So they just hate all my content. I don't know.
Yeah.
I was
Now, mind you, it's both
97.6.
videos with Carrie in them, and people get mad about our joking around. Like
was
in
it
one
a
of the
picker
videos, I
video?
literally was asking. Yeah, I was literally asking Carrie how his hemorrhoids were. People didn't really appreciate that.
Well, I mean, people
they
don't
wanted me
ever-
to keep your medical issues private.
Exactly. I mean, it's thoughtful, and they didn't even appreciate the
Yeah.
fact that you're a thoughtful picker. It's always all they care about is you showing them what's worth money. They don't care about the human side of you. They want you to be a machine.
like when I said,
Dave,
"Hey, I'm gonna
and
go
you
to
gotta
this
rage
porta
against
potty."
that.
Like, Carrie, we're in the mud, and I said, I'm going to go to this porta potty, and I left in me starting to walk towards the porta potty, and they
Yeah.
all got a little scared, and they're all hitting that thumbs down, and then I cut it. And then I even
Art
get
went
comments
in
like,
the
thank
porta
you so
potty.
much for cutting out the porta potty.
Hey, you know what I did in this video? This video here that I haven't done before is I did like the first 2-3 minutes of a sale, and then I got to a point where I was making an offer on something, and as soon as I made the offer, I cut it and ran the intro. And then they had to wait for the response. I think maybe that
wow.
might have helped and
How long
boosted
There was
did
it.
they have
probably
to wait?
riots. There was probably riots in the
The
retirement
intro?
homes.
No, like,
know.
yeah, so, like, are you saying you did the 3-second intro, and then you went straight to the bargain, or you put other sales
I
in
went
between?
straight. No, I didn't. I went
Okay,
straight right back.
that would have
to
been
it.
annoying.
Yeah, that would have been annoying.
I wouldn't
Sure,
put
I
it
got
past
some-
you, though.
Oh, please, give me a break. Hey, that video
Anything
I was
for that
talking
money.
about, I got accused like I knew I would of carrying eBay's water, and you're on eBay's payroll, and you're
You
doing
are.
this and whatever.
That's
and
true.
Like,
That's
like,
factual.
Oh, shut up, dude.
Put it in the
It
Facebook
feels like
So
chat
not
right
true.
now, guys. Kevin's on the
Bonanza
take.
owner in cahoots with
No.
eBay.
Also, he eats bananas. Yeah.
In pajamas.
Okay,
Oh my
so Mike's
gosh.
Kevin's rod. We've covered some interesting things here. How about we talk
Yeah,
about
we've learned.
sales? Do you have any good sales this week, guys?
Yeah, maybe. Let me look.
Carrie,
Yeah, I
you
think
got
I have
Why
a
not?
few.
Yeah, probably.
What's Don's
I don't know.
best
What I
sale?
got.
That's fine.
I bought these
Let's-
Black Rifle Company mugs. I'm starting to sell them like crazy.
Oh, how much you pay for
I
him?
have sales that I love.
When are you marrying?
1987 Nerf indoor golf. I mean, how cool is
Pretty
that?
dope.
Not that cool.
That was cool. $38. I sold it. Here you go. Don would be happy with this chalkware. I saw some chalkware
I
bluebirds
sold
at the
chalkware
100 mile sale, and I think they were. I think I got like $30-40 for it. Let me see.
Nice.
I gotta
What was
see
it?
what I got.
You said
for it.
bluebirds?
40
I sold
bucks.
like my-
3 little bluebirds sitting on the table, and all these pickers walked past it, and I was proud. I'm like, Don would be proud of me for picking up this chalkware bluebird. 3 of them.
I sold my first video game in, like, 6 months or something. I used to
Well,
only
some
sell
are
video
slow
games.
on video game.
Yeah,
What
it
was
was
it?
like Hatsune Miku. It's like an anime game. Project DNA. I got it at a yard sale a couple months ago. I kind of forgot about it. I think I paid like $5. It sold for 32. But then we're selling all sorts of random stuff. We're selling
Me too.
plates, Spode. Dawn's been selling a lot of plates. Like I said, she's on a plate kick right now. That's what she's digging. Yeah, we're selling all sorts of stuff. Plenty of $2 cards.
I went on a
Really?
jewelry kick a while back, and I've decided I'm not going to ever go on a jewelry kick again because
Really?
I hate it.
Really?
I haven't sold
What
any
did you
of
hate
that,
about
except
it?
for the stuff that got thrown away. But other than that stuff that got thrown away, I sold like one thing out of all that jewelry, and I just don't like it. And people have commented, they said, Dave, you got to take like super high quality pictures with a really high quality camera and blah 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 blah. And I don't want to do that. I hate jewelry, so I don't think I just think I don't want to sell jewelry unless I find a bunch
you
of
know
like
what I
precious
found
metals.
this week, and I
What?
started walking. I saw this table full of it was like a little container full of jewelry, and I started digging through, and it was crap. It was garbage, and there was nothing at the sale. It was getting hot. It was late, and I started walking away. And as I turned, I saw a little old jewelry box. I'm like, I'll look in there, and I opened it up. I'm like, sweet. And a tiny little charm, but I turned it over and it's $10K. And I asked Les, like, how much you want for it? She's like, a quarter or 50 cents or something. I'm like, sweet. So I got
Wow.
10 karat gold. It's not worth, it's probably only worth 20 to 40, but it was gold. I haven't found gold in like a year.
Yeah, man. I couldn't do that.
Really
I couldn't do
interesting,
that to the
Kevin.
poor sweet seller personally, but some people can.
Oh, yeah. Sure. Would you ever say 50 cents for a dollar item? There's a whole just debate.
No, I wouldn't.
about this.
No.
Would
If
you-
it's $1,
Never?
and, I mean, you should be
Would
able
you
to make
say?
it.
I know Dawn would do this. If there's an item for $1 and another item for $1 that she wants, she would say, "Could I have both for $1?" Would you do that?
She might do that. I mean, for the most part, if I'm picking up something for $1, I'm a good reseller, so it's going to be worth at least $2. So there's no reason to get it down any lower. We're already well in the profit. I hate
That's a
negotiating.
video idea,
Dawn
though,
probably.
Kev. I
would,
love
though.
it. I love it. I want to start doing that. I want to go to sales and be like, I see you get $1 on this. Will you take a quarter?
Yeah.
Just start
Just really
having
sweet.
a. You should
Just
start.
post them
You know,
immediately to TikTok.
you know how people have the thumbnails where they're holding the money and stuff, the cash? You should just have like one of those old school, like Charles Dickens pouches of coins, and just be holding the little pouch of coins, like you're handing out nickels and dimes.
Just
and
be
stuff.
just be like the heel of reselling. Like every yard sale
I'm
you go
gonna
to,
do
be like,
that.
hey, I see you
I'm
have a
gonna carry-
dollar. I see you have a dollar. Will
I'm
you
going
take
on
a quarter?
Amazon
They
and getting
say yes, and
a
they
coin
say
pouch. I'm doing it. That's
then
hilarious.
they say yes, Carrie. They give it to you for a quarter. Be like, sweet, I'm selling this for $50 on eBay. Screw you,
no.
and then you walk out.
No, I take off my GoPro and I hand it to Dawn, and she pans over to me, and I'm like, "That was a great." Like I'm still there in the yard sale. I'm like, "That was a great deal. This is worth over $50 on
gonna sell
eBay."
this
And
for
then I just walk off.
Dude. I love it, dude. I think this will work. Or you
gosh.
could be like hardcore with your coin purse.
Gosh.
How to
You could
ruin
have
yard
like-
It's
sales
so
for
good.
everyone.
It's so good. Nashville Flipper already did the video. That's how good it is.
Or just offer
already
a
done,
quarter
yeah.
for anything, no matter what it is. It could be like a $50 item. Just like only make quarter offers. That's it. Just quarter
every time,
offers.
though. Every time.
It's like $20. You take a
Every
quarter
time
for
you
this?
hold up because you're like GoPro, it's POV, right? You hold up the bag and you go jingle jangle, and they go, "What did you just say?" And you go jingle jangle. You just got a quarter offer, and then and then you get thrown out. There's gonna be so many terrible moments. It's great for TikTok.
Maybe bring those dollar coins that everybody hates and just pay in those.
And then ask if they can break it. Ask if they can break the dollar coin. Could you break a dollar coin?
Can you give me 4 quarters for this?
Don't even buy anything.
It's
just
a video we
get
all want to
change
see.
for it.
I feel like Art could do it too. He could get away with doing
Art
that
could
video.
do it for
Yeah.
sure.
How many sales?
Other people
How many
not
sales
like
does
that.
he lose out on? How many deals does he lose out on because his truck is completely wrapped in his logo? Like you gotta
It
lose
is
every time you
crazy,
go up
yeah.
to a yard sale and it just says Art of Resell in 17 different locations on your truck. That's not going to help you get a deal. I used to
don't
have
think he
a
loses
truck
it.
for a short
gotta
time
find this thing.
before I probably got in a car wreck with it or something. Who knows what happened? But I had a truck and I had Ponzi's auction because that was my old auction house, and it was a metal logo thing that I would take off and on my truck. If I was going yard selling, I'd take it off. If I was driving around town, I'd put it back on. So that's how you got to think. Can't let people
So,
know.
Carrie, Kevin's sale was some $40 chalkware. Did you say what yours was?
That
a
wasn't
lamp?
my best sale.
That was Kevin's best
it,
sale
but
this year.
Kevin's
That's
best
good. I
sale
like
was
that
$40
sale.
chalkware.
I want to talk about my favorite sale. Can I talk about a sale I actually like?
Yeah, you can talk about that.
I
I
found
sold
some
Snap-on,
hockey
dude.
cards.
$100.
Dude, that's awesome.
Okay.
You know?
That was the whole story.
I found some hockey cards, but
You
I
got
like
anything else?
No, I sold hockey cards. Can I talk about it? Can I talk
And I
about
like
something I'm
hockey.
I do like no, but they're cool because it's fans of hockey. They're from 1991, and one of them was Ralph Macchio, but like post Karate Kid, you know, when he was kind of in like the desert when nobody
really?
was hiring him for anything. And then it was James Belushi, and I sold like a bunch of those for $2 a piece. Ralph Macchio, James Belushi. James Belushi is the brother of Jim Belushi. If you didn't know that,
John Belushi.
John Belushi.
or John
or
Belushi.
Jim?
Wow.
Jim is James, and then John.
Is there a
John
Jim
and
Belushi?
right?
John, Jim, and James Belushi. There's the triplets.
Jim and James might be the same guy. I'm just
Yeah, I was
throwing
just
that out there.
That's the thing about. I just want to say this because I talk about it on my card channel all the time. I love cards, and sometimes cards make me happy.
Wait, do you? You love cards.
say
How
that.
much
I
you
look
sell
dead
hockey
in-
cards for? Did you say it?
I had $2 a piece after fees. I made like $1. You know what I did with that dollar?
Did you have any sales
Guess
that
what I
were
did with
higher?
the dollar,
What
Dave?
did you
Dave,
do?
guess what I did
Got a
with the
burrito
dollar?
to talk about.
I bought more cards. I bought more cards.
Shocking. Did you do what? Okay, so what was Dawn's big sale of the week then? Let's just go there.
She probably got a
instead of
better one.
yours.
I got big ones too. Gosh, I'm looking. I mean, like we
Dude.
sold
I
the
sold
plate
a
set for like.
Nerf drum magazine.
A Nerf what, Kevin?
The
Oh,
Titan
dude.
drum magazine, the big one, $115 plus shipping.
Oh, like a part, parted it out. I gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
We sold
$100
another
for
one
that?
of those
Jeez.
sets.
115.
What
We
sets
sold
of
another
what?
one of those Swedish sets for 188 for 6 plates. Don paid $2 a piece for those. Gustavberg, Stig
Jeez.
Lindberg, Bursa. I know all those keywords, by the way. If you would have asked me before Don bought those plates what a Gustavo Stig Lindberg Bursa plate was, I would have been like, that's worth a lot of money. And it was. But I also sold something I got from one Death Pile Picker 2 years ago when Don was still scared and thought Mike was trying to kill us back in those days. We went to his storage unit, a little bit creepy, and he sold us a bobblehead, a Frank Thomas bobblehead, and I finally sold it 2 years
I didn't
later.
think it was Mike that
For
Dawn thought was going to
60
kill you. I thought that was someone else.
Yeah.
No,
I know. I almost
it-
said it.
Don,
It wasn't
you gotta
Mike, it
realize,
was
like,
someone
Dawn's
else.
watched far too many scary movies. She's not scared of anything that's actually scary, and she's always scared of, like, just being out in the woods and stuff because she's seen the
Unscary stuff.
strangers or something. You know what I
So
mean?
she was
That's-
scared of both people. She was scared
She's
of
scared-
both people.
Yeah, but now she likes.
Was she
both
ever
people.
scared
She
of
liked
Kevin?
him before, but
Was
she
she
was
scared of
scared.
Kevin?
Oh, I just knocked over. I have like
She was
40
scared of
different
me?
drinking.
No.
No, you're harmless.
I think
She
you're,
could take you
well,
as the
you're.
thing. Like you're small and dainty.
I can't remember where I saw it, but somewhere I saw a comment. Maybe it was on the YouTube that Kevin has to act every day. He acts like he's a Southerner. Did you see
Yeah,
that comment?
I did
somewhere?
see
That
that,
was pretty
yeah.
funny.
It is
And,
true.
dude, you gotta check this trash. I can't even mention some of these trash cash things that have apparently popped up. How does this
What, on
Chris
the
New Jersey
podcast?
Picker? No, on the Facebook page. And these debates. Somebody came out the other day. I don't know how it got approved, to Chris. And they're like, what was it? I can't remember. Maybe it wasn't a post itself, but they're like they're ripping YouTubers, and somebody mentioned me, and then somebody mentioned. And I'm like, this is on our Facebook page.
Did they mention me?
Yes.
Dude,
yes.
Well, I wish they'd watch. I haven't been getting many views.
I know. What the heck? But I don't think that's what I'm saying. I think there's literally like 10,000 people that they don't even know that this is our Facebook group. I mean, who would come on somebody's Facebook group and act like they don't know and just start ripping YouTubers like these guys for bringing too many resellers to eBay and whatever. There's so many resellers now, and then somebody posts it. It's like, no, there's less resellers than last year. There's less resellers. And then they start fighting in the comments. I'm like, what is this? This is our Facebook group.
Well, Kevin, you have the ban hammer. Feel free to wield
it up. I don't care.
When are we going to monetize that? When are we going to put like a Jiffy Lube banner at the top or something so we can make some cash from the page?
Yeah, it'll be the only money I'm earning on freaking Facebook nowadays. I don't know.
No, mine's gone down
Facebook's terrible.
No.
Facebook's just the worst. Okay, so I sold a Junkyard Dog Toxic Crusader Troma for $53.
Junkyard Dog Toxic Crusader.
Action figure, right?
It's an action figure. Yep.
Okay, so it's not.
He's got like a big long
wrestler.
tongue. He's got a big long tongue. Dude, someone posted it in the Discord, Kevin. I don't know if you saw the Susquehanna Picker. He got like 7 wrestling buddies today.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Like I think he said $30 for all of them or something. It was crazy.
Man.
It was crazy. Wrestling buddies are plush
Isn't it
guys
crazy
that are
how
bolo.
some buys are just like better when you're out? Like my dad found. I was like, we pulled up to a yard sale, and I'm like, all right. Normally he drops me off or whatever, and there's 2. I'm like, I'm going here, you go here.
But
and
your
I'm buying
dad's
like
dropping
crazy.
you off at yard sales, and just where does he go?
Yes. Yeah, he does that, yeah.
It's awesome.
He parks. He goes and parks. The older
drives me
fellow
to
goes and parks. He also holds the door for Kevin.
No.
And
He did the
helps him
picking
get
and
his
called
pants
you
on.
over when there was stuff
No,
accumulated.
listen. This is what happens. So he drives me to a sale, and he drops me off at the sale, like right there. And then I open the door, I get out, and then he drives, and depends on where we're going next. If we're going somewhere this way, he'll turn the car around, pull it up. And if I'm looking at stuff, he knows, okay. And then so he gets out of the car. And if I buy something, he'll take it or whatever. But if there's 2 sales, I go to one, he goes to the other. And I was picking forever at this sale, and I see him across the way, and he's got things in his hand, which means he's like, hey, you need to come look at this stuff. And he's looking at me, and I'm like, I got to buy this stuff. This is good. I go over there. He's learning. I'm just like, wow, he's got 2 vintage 1990 Polly Pocket sets, 2 for $1. I'm like, sweet. And those, they'll probably go for $30 a piece. And I was so excited about those. And I had just bought like $140 DVD VCR recorder and for like $5, and that didn't excite me. But those 2 little, I'm going to make way more money on that than the Polly Pockets. But
No,
same
I hear
thing
you.
with wrestling buddies, right? It's like, holy cow, I got wrestling buddies, but that's not those Snap-on tools.
Yeah, no, but the wrestling buddies are just cooler.
Yeah.
I guess it depends on the person. For my cousin, the Snap-on tools would be cooler.
The problem with the
depends on
wrestling buddies is I
you like.
always lose. They always pin me, and I'm down for 3.
Put
Really?
those
You
on
can't beat
Dibdit, and maybe I'll buy one.
Oh, there you go, Susquehanna
sure.
Picker. Put
Look
them
at
on
that
Dibdit,
kinda
and Kevin will
non-commit-
buy one. Guaranteed. Dude,
I can see which
to
ones
maybe
you
buy
have.
10% over market. 10% over market to get Kevin to pay too much.
No, see, that's why I said maybe, because people will do that, right? It's
Does
like
your dad
Tim
buy that
selling
stuff for you,
cards
too?
on there. The first things over the years is selling cards on Dibdit, and Tim puts up the first 3 cards like Mike Trout and like all of Turner's favorite players, right?
Yep.
That's what he puts up to start off.
We
Like,
pander.
dude,
We always pander to
come
you when you're in
on,
the
man.
sale.
Like, so I bought.
I find all the University of Liberty players, and then you feel guilty if you don't bid.
Every time I go in there, he's running Blake Bortles. I don't even know what's happening.
That's
Like,
right.
I guess I'm buying this.
I really want to do that.
No, you're buying.
One day I want to do an
and that's a
hour
good
straight
point.
of Blake Bortles. Make you buy the stuff I've been buying for you back. There we go. It's
Yeah,
even better.
thank
That's
you. I
a big
appreciate
part
it.
of eBay, I think, but it's a much bigger part of live selling is knowing the people you know will show up and trying to provide
Yeah.
them with the same. That is
Absolutely.
It is
It is
a
huge.
real
There's stuff
thing.
I didn't used to buy dragons. Now I always buy any
dragons.
dragons because I have like 5 people that come to my shows that love dragons, and it's like I can
Imagine
basically be
that.
their personal shopper.
Hey, listen,
basically be
same
the personal
thing.
shopper.
I ran, unlike Dave, who ran DVDs, I ran cassettes, LPs, video or VHS, and whatever. And I discovered we've got a buyer of 8-tracks, and this guy bought 8-tracks all day long on Dibdit, and he restores them and whatever. And so now I'm like, when I'm out at yard sales yesterday, I saw 8-tracks, and I didn't buy any, but I'm like,
that's like
maybe I'll put this back in the old repertoire.
That's like an anomaly too. Somebody who's like a fan of 8-tracks, but is also online buying on a live auction. That seems like quite the
also
juxtaposition.
knows what the internet is.
He
Yes,
has the
indeed.
World Wide Web.
Hey, I'm going.
He's on AOL
to,
for sure.
I'm going to see y'all. You'll be proud of me seeing a popular band here, a modern band. I'm going to see the Beach Boys.
Oh my gosh!
That's not
just
a
in
modern
time,
band. That's an
Just
old
in
band.
time. Oh my gosh!
You know, Gordon Lightfoot died before I could see him. I had tickets and he broke his wrist.
But
and he
isn't the
died.
Beach Boys all new people now?
It's still got Mike
it was
Love.
like new
Still
members.
has Mike Love.
So it's got there's two different
And Bruce.
factions. Well, Brian Wilson's not doing anything, but Al Jardine and they were doing. Two of them did this.
Why do I
two of
ask
them
questions
did
I
this,
don't care about
and
the
they
answers
came back.
to?
Okay, I won't tell you.
Listen,
but
Thank
two
you.
of them are
Okay,
dead.
so over
Kevin,
on
Kevin,
Patreon, someone. What?
Well, I had something I wanted to mention about Gordon Lightfoot real quick. Kevin would be proud of
Okay.
me. I spent like a half an hour while I was working listening
Sundown,
to Midnight Special. Do you remember Midnight Special when you were a kid, Kevin?
Yeah, I
Gordon
do.
Lightfoot hosted an episode or something, and I was watching the whole thing. It was cool. There was like all sorts of bands and stuff. It was pretty
Where
entertaining.
can you hear about the Waltons, the Baldwin sisters, and Gordon Lightfoot if it's not Colin Picker? Come on.
It's true.
Trash Cash Podcast,
Folksy.
baby. That's where it's
Folksy
at.
and
That's why we're
whimsical.
bringing you. You had a different layer for
sold-
the very elderly audience, and we
I
appreciate it.
have a Mike Deathpile Picker sale too, sort
We
of.
call him your Rod now. Kevin's
sold
Rod.
Kevin's Rod had a sale, guys.
Fieldcrest, these towels. I'm looking at these towels at this sale on the 100 Mile Yard sale, and it was hot. It was the end of the day, and I'm just like, I've bought so much, and I'm looking at them. I'm like, these are probably $15 towels. I can get them for 50 cents. Old, just vintage towel set. One towel, one hand towel. And I walk away from it. Mike's like, "What are you doing, dude? What are you walking?" He's like, "This is what you buy." I'm like, "I know." He's like, and so he comped it. He's like, "These will sell." I'm like, "Okay." I went back and bought it, and bam, sold it for $30. One towel, one hand towel.
One
So
hand.
Kevin's Rod convinced you
Yeah.
needed a hand towel.
Kevin's
That's
Rod
just-
can
I wanna
hold
make
up
sure
a
that's
hand.
where we're
no,
at.
no
I can't
hands.
control it. I can't
Hold up his,
turn
You
the
can't
camera
control your
off.
rod?
I can't.
Okay. All right, so
Let me
let's
call
go to
Tech, see if he'll
Patreon.
be
We got some
full-time.
Patreon questions, Kevin. We got Patreon
Yeah.
questions. First of all, Lost World video games. Will Tekken be replacing Kevin?
Oh, I hope so. There's no way. You can't afford him.
It's true.
I'll
Number
trade.
2, Angel Bolden. What is the nicest or most helpful thing a person having a sale has ever done for you?
Having a
Man.
sale like at a yard
The
sale.
nicest. I mean, a lot of people do nice things.
Or
I got
helpful
people who will
things?
package up things. They'll wrap up glass. They'll put them.
That happens, yeah.
Take them to your car. Help
Yeah.
you load the car
That
up.
often happens. Yeah, they'll help you load up.
Yeah, they're nice. They're nice to Kevin all the time.
they'll
Like Kevin will
Let
tell
you
him to
use the
stand.
bathroom.
Kevin will tell him to stand here,
Yeah, let you
do
use the
this. He
bathroom.
brings stuff in from the car for them to show him, like it was in their back room and stuff. Kevin sets up a lot of stuff at his yard
I mean, the
sales.
nicest thing they did for me was that lady who gave me all those fancy purses for free. That was the nicest thing that anyone's done for me.
Yeah.
There was also
Oh.
that lady in my video that's now kind of trending again, where like the lady was trying to steal my video game buy, and the seller refused to sell it to this lady because I had already asked for it. Like she brought it down just for me, and so she refused to sell it to that lady. Waited for that lady to leave just so she could sell it to me. So that was probably the nicest.
So I
That
got
was
one,
pretty
but
cool.
this is years ago, and I just remembered it when you said the free stuff. I was like, forever ago. I mean, I've been in YouTube for 5 years, for goodness sake. But Turner was with me, and
Humble
this
brag.
guy says, "Hey, would you like to have these action figures?" And I'm like, and Turner's like, "No, thank you, though." And I turned to Turner, I'm like, "Yeah, you definitely want those." And it was a pile of Dungeons and Dragons
Really?
action figures.
And did you sell them, or you let him keep them?
No, I sold them.
You forced
Good dad award.
Turner to sell them.
I wouldn't let him play with demonic stuff. You kidding
Oh,
me?
there you go. Alexandria Picker said, "When will we see the bench press competition?" I'm ready,
dude.
guys. I'm ready.
I'm ready, dude.
What
I'm
can you
ready.
bench,
Here.
Kevin? Is it over or under
most
350?
Oh, shut up. You're
I'm
not
just
benching
curious.
anywhere near 350. Most I've ever benched 260.
That's it? Ugh.
Shut up, dude. You do not bench 260, and neither do I anymore.
Each hand? Just like,
Yeah, he must be talking about an incline. That's a little harder. Maybe
It
that
is
makes
harder.
sense,
Oh,
yeah.
look at you. You do know a little bit. Have you ever done the decline bench?
Yeah.
It's harder to balance, but it's
Yeah.
easier, much easier.
But I always do any sort of lifting fully nude. It's just, it gives me
Do
more
you
strength.
spray clean the surfaces when you're done?
Dude, do
Yeah,
you think I'm the
when
kind of
I'm
guy
there,
who spray cleans
yeah.
the surface? Do you think I'm the kind of guy who puts away his shopping cart? I mean, if you guys don't know me yet, I mean,
You don't
then
put away
come
your
on.
shopping cart?
Oh no! Out of
No,
spite,
I
I
don't.
don't. Out of spite, I don't.
Nope.
I'm a
Oh,
spiteful
you're
man.
I
gonna
always
torn up
expect.
in the
Oh, I am.
Flipper
People
to
get so
pop
mad.
up.
I've said it on my Flipper video before, and I got
that's
so many
terrible.
downvotes.
You should. That's awful.
I know, but I
I'll
got
be honest,
babies
though,
in the car, and I can't leave them in the heat.
used to have to get
Park
carts,
next to it.
and I used to love when people didn't put the carts away because it just meant I was outside of the store
'Cause-
longer. I didn't have to do anything. I was just hunting for carts. It was pretty fun. Honestly, I think you're doing them a solid, getting them out of
Okay, so
getting out of
Kathy
work.
Randall asked an interesting question, Carrie.
Okay.
Kathy Randall said, have you ever accidentally put the wrong price on something you were selling, maybe mistakenly put the shipping price of $8 instead of the real price $85, which I don't know why the shipping price would be $85, but I get the general idea. Have you ever accidentally underpriced something on eBay? And it's an interesting question to me because I literally messaged someone. I found this Department 56 Santa Claus at a yard sale. I paid like $1 for it, or 50 cents for it. I go to list it, and someone has it listed for $3 plus 5 shipping. And so I message. I'm like, hey, I think you got this price right because all the comps are like $15 to $20. And I was like, hey, did you price this wrong? They wrote back like, no, I just can't get any love on it, so I'm letting it go for $3. I'm like, why? What's the point?
Well, because, hey, instead of lowering that price, they should have upped it and rebooted the whole thing and changed pictures or something.
They said it's been listed. Yeah, they said it's been listed for years, but I see comps that have sold recently, and they're at $3. They're selling
Well,
for
you have to
$15.
do, like,
shadow band.
instead of lowering it down to $3, what you want to do is on a Tuesday night around midnight, you want to light some sage, and then you want to talk to Krylov. You want to talk to Krylov person to person, and you want to get those sales
Blart
going. And
Blanca.
sometimes it just takes a little bit of love and a little bit of respect.
Rubbing in him a man on
What
it.
is
But
the
Rub it in a man.
explanation for that?
the explanation is there's a psychology. I've talked about this. You should watch my videos. There's
No,
a psychology to having a severely underpriced item. People don't want it. They think
it's messed
something's
up.
wrong with that.
Well, what about
telling
okay?
you.
So all the
It's true.
time when I'm listing, and this happened a lot with the tools. All the times when I'm listing, there'll be like 7 solds for $24.99, and then if I go to actives, I'll see some for $18.
Yeah, all the time.
Why? Like, so do I price at 25 or do I price at 18?
No, you price it 25. Why would you price it 18? It's not sold.
Because that's the competition.
Okay, that's somewhat true. You got to dig a little deeper, and I know you don't dig deeper into those listings, right? Well, there might be a reason that's listed at 18.
No, a
There
lot of
might
times I
be
do, and it'll be like bad
tread
condition.
issues, bad,
But every now
hey.
and then I'll look at them and they'll be just as good. And that's all I'm
Okay.
saying. Like, why hasn't that item sold?
Well, sometimes
Is it
how you
promoted?
list them in poor commit is possible. It's very
yeah,
possible.
promoted listings.
Yeah, absolutely. Or people
Yeah.
buy from the same people.
If you don't have your item
They're
on sale,
because I see it all the time.
promoted, and also that promoted
Yeah.
with the ad rate thing, if you're not doing all 3 of those things, why are you even doing eBay? You're not going to sell
listen.
anything if you don't do
Listen,
all 3 of those.
I just want to make it clear, guys. I got you. I always put my cart back. Calm down. Calm down.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
let's go
right,
on.
right.
That'll make our
Listen.
comments a little better.
Yeah, that'll be good. So this is true. All right, so I was looking at a page the other day. There was a Care Bear page or a Care Bear
okay.
store. They were just selling because they bought a Care Bear from me, and I look at stores when they buy stuff from me sometimes, and this person sells Care Bears. That's all they sell. Tons of them.
Yeah, we
so
get
they're
it.
probably a collector
Yeah.
and a seller. But I'm looking
we
at the
immediately
prices
got
that
it when
they're
you
getting.
said it the first time.
3 times was not necessary.
What?
But go on. You said 3 times
You
that
said
they
the
sell
same
in the
thing
Care
3
Bear.
Shut up,
times in a
dude.
row.
Listen, okay, you know why I do that?
Because you
I
think
no
we're not
clue.
Let
paying
me
attention.
tell you 3 times why I do that. It takes 7 times to get it in your head permanently.
That's
Just
probably
saying.
true.
You get it.
So I just have to say
Did they
that
have a Care
You
Bear
buy
stock,
and
you
sell
stock
Care Bear
people's
stuff.
store.
There, I got 3 more to go.
Shouldn't you be like editing or listing? Why are you stocking people's store
Listen,
on eBay?
this is the point because it was a send offer. They sent me an offer, and so I always check their. I want to see what location they're at, how far I got to ship it. I want to see what they're selling, and sometimes they're selling
That's a
what
lot of
they're
extra
buying
work.
off of you. Well, maybe. So long story short, here. their prices for Care Bear that they're getting.
They made a short story
really,
long,
really
by
high.
the way.
Listen, you
could have
asked
said this in 15 seconds,
answer.
Kevin.
I'm giving you the
stalk
answer
a
why
person
somebody
and they get more
more
because they're a Care Bear only store. I just did it. They bought it from me. Yeah,
if
I
you're
get
a
it.
Care Bear buyer, no, but you don't understand the reasoning behind it.
I get it. I just don't care.
Because
no, I'm just kidding.
We're just bullies tonight.
like-
We're just bullies.
if you buy a card from Carrie and it comes like he's like, oh, this is great, whatever, and it comes, it's got creases down the middle, and you couldn't see him or whatever. Are you going to go back and buy cards from that guy? No, but if you consistently get like Tim level shipping and you're happy with it, you're going to go back and you're willing to pay more because you know what you're going to get.
Well, what are they doing to make their shipping special? They putting confetti in there? Is it hand
I'm not
delivered?
just saying shipping. I'm just saying people will pay more from certain sellers. They will. And niche down sellers that they know they can get what they want, they'll pay more.
We didn't answer her questions. Have you ever actually accidentally underpriced an item? Yeah, whatnot. It's called whatnot, Kathy. Everything. Or dipped it. All of the stuff.
Whatever you can get on eBay, cut it in half, then cut it in half again, and that's what you'll get on whatnot. Every time.
No, that's not true. Depends on what you
Not if you're Kevin. Not
if you're
Kevin.
trying to
Kevin. Kevin does get a lot.
If
He
I was
gets
throwing
over.
a Snap-on tool on there, it's not going to get
It
eBay
might.
tag.
It might. Is there a tool category?
Yeah, probably.
If there's a tool category, it might do okay. I see the golf stuff goes crazy on there. Not like mulligans, but close.
Not mulligans
No,
crazy.
dude.
But whatnot.
Dude, golf
Mulligans
stuff.
I only
they're
shop
selling
for
it
golf
at a
clubs
steep
on mulligans.
discount.
Do you have any Memorial Day traditions, says the quirky picker Chad? He's so
Well,
quirky. Love that
It's
about him.
usually baseball. When I coached, they were playoff season. When I played, it was playing ball. Now Turner usually plays, but he didn't play this year.
My tradition
Okay, and Carrie,
is
how about you?
I get up at the crack of noon and I go to the Deseret Industry and realize they're closed because it's Memorial Day. And then I'm upset and I probably just
Well,
go
listen,
to
let me
Texas
just
Roadhouse.
start off by being the one who said thank you for your service to all our veterans out
Yes,
there.
no, that
You
was
know, we do
implied.
appreciate you.
I feel like when people
Memorial
watch this,
Day,
they know I'm
so-
already thanking them for their service, so I don't have
Yeah,
to say
well,
it
Kevin
verbally.
makes a good point. It is Memorial Day, so thank you for your family service, I
For your
guess would be the way to say it. But
in memorial.
Yeah.
in
yes.
memoriam.
Wait for Veterans Day and
Yeah, Veterans Day. Well, anyways, my tradition usually is some sort of a barbecue of some sort. Have family over, get the grill out, maybe smoke some pork butts, stuff like that. Pork butts are a fantastic option if you're going to have 65 people over, like I'm going to have tomorrow, because it's cheap. It's like $35, and I'm going to easily make 60
Is it like
sandwiches.
a whole butt of a pig, or you have several
It's their
different
thigh.
butts?
It's like their thigh. It's like their thigh.
But one thigh
It's
of a
not
pig
really
feeds
the
that
butt.
many people? Or you
I
have
bought
several
2.
pigs?
They're like 15 to 20 a piece. So I bought 2 of them. I think I paid like $35. It's like less than 50 cents a sandwich or something like that. It's crazy cheap. If you have a smoker, right? So, and it's delicious too.
And so you pull it or you slice it?
I pull it.
Oh man, that takes a while, doesn't it?
Yeah, 6. That's why I'm starting at midnight. Party's at 2 tomorrow.
Well, even pulling it takes a while.
No, not if you have the claws.
Your little
I just use the
claws
claws.
and
Yeah,
rip
I use the
them.
claws. No big deal. And I made some homemade North Carolina Eastern barbecue sauce, which isn't for everyone, but I also got normal barbecue sauce that people can mask up the vinegar if they don't like it. I actually have always preferred it with both the vinegar sauce and the barbecue sauce, like the sweet barbecue sauce. I'm a double sauce kind of guy. Carrie, I feel like the comments are going to be too rough because we've been too mean to Kevin. Let's take a minute and appreciate
listen,
Kevin.
it's all
Kevin,
a joke. We respect
we really
Kevin
appreciate
immensely.
you.
We do appreciate Kevin.
He's a great part of the show.
Is
we would
he as
not
good as
replace him
Tech
with Tech
was? No.
unless Tech's
But
available.
he's as good as he can be. He's as good as he can be.
Kevin, I will say Tekken does want to come on the main show at some point.
Oh, really?
He did ask to come on the main show.
How about next week?
No, well, he wants you there too.
I gotta be on vacation.
you can't-
When
He
am I
wants
going?
you there, Kevin.
He wants to talk to you, Kevin.
He didn't actually explicitly say that though, so I guess he might not care.
I think he wants
I feel
me.
like he was
I
feeling
think
each
he
other's
wants
day.
me to leave, and he wants Kevin there. I felt the.
I like. Listen, I like this question from Wolfman's Goodies. How often do you end a listing and sell similar?
Very rarely, but I do it. Well, you can answer, Carrie, if you
Never.
want to.
Never.
I do it-
Mine's easy. Never. I never do
No,
I
it.
do it with.
I think
I
you
do it
should.
with sports cards. So if a player plays really well in a game, I'll take it down, and sometimes I'll
If
up the
there's
price
some-
or lower it.
If there's if there's something wrong with a listing, I won't fix what's wrong with it. I'll end it and fix what's wrong with it, and I'll redo it. If it's something that should be selling and hasn't sold, I will end it and use that time to repost it to figure out what's wrong with it.
And also get a boost when you repost it, right? Because if you're just fixing it, you're not going to get as much of a boost, historically, I guess. Krylofts.
Well, I'm gonna do it right now. I'm gonna relist my chandelier. I told you I'm testing price points on my chandelier, so I'm gonna end and relist.
You should delete everything off your eBay again, like you did that one time. I had just repost.
Oh, that was fun. I had one watcher, but it could have been a viewer, so I don't really put much stock in just a watcher anymore.
We should appreciate that, Kerry. Just revisit that. Dave, on an absolute whim, unlisted his whole store.
It's true. No, what I was doing there was I was just planting the seed, because in 2 weeks, Dave's going to say, like, randomly that he had an idea to do that, and it's because I planted the seed just now.
But I was already thinking about it today. I'm not going to do it. It's too much work.
You will.
It's too much work, but I was thinking about that today.
But in 2 weeks you will. ADHD, dude.
Well, the problem I'm having is I'm getting so much inventory. Like, for the longest time, I've been at 600, 700 listings because I haven't been, like, adding a ton of listings.
That's cute.
I've just been kind of staying steady, but now I'm at, like, 1,200 or something or more. Maybe 1.300? So 1,300, is that what that means? Yeah. Well, it says 1.3.
1.3.
1,700, yes. Probably. Yeah, I have a lot of listings right now. So someone actually said an interesting comment. They wrote, it might have been on my Flipper channel, it might have been on Trash to Cash. They were saying the reason things aren't selling, or one of the reasons, is eBay's search now sucks. And when people search for things, they're not actually getting the item they're looking for, so people just don't buy on eBay at all because the search is so bad, and it's gotten worse. Have you noticed that?
So are they saying that the search is bad, like they're literally not finding the items they're searching for, or they're getting promoted stuff popped up?
I think they're getting promoted stuff.
They weren't that clear on it. To me, I read it as like they're trying to find something and they don't find the item they're looking for. They find a bunch of other garbage.
I will say
is what it sounded like to me.
I was watching
so, like,
a
if
YouTuber.
I went on there and I searched for something, GoPro 11, I find it. No, actually, no. When I type GoPro 11, that's a product?
But you're going to get a ton of off-branded stuff that's like batteries for it. That's whatever.
The first item is a GoPro 5, then a GoPro 10. The third item is a GoPro 11. Okay. That's weird. Why would it be the third item? They're probably
do this. Yeah. Go lowest first. Do that real quick.
Well, I'm sure it'll be.
No, but it'll be chargers and all that.
No, but this is what I'm saying.
You're picking a bad item to do this with.
I was watching. I forgot who it was. It was a local guy. It was the guy that does the
Hillary
funny.
Harry Tornado.
He does the funny, like, what sold clothing videos here in Vegas. I've talked about him before.
Is he the guy that wears his little cell phone in his shirt pocket?
Sure, probably. I'm sure he does.
That was cool.
But my point is, like, he was talking about when he was going through trying to see sell-through rates and stuff of items. When he was looking at sold listings, he had to do it from lowest first, so it actually would show what items were. If he didn't do that, it would show everything, including stuff that wasn't exactly what he was searching for, which makes no sense. But apparently, that's like
really weird.
Some glitch with eBay.
I haven't seen many problems with it lately, but I do certainly see the promoted stuff pop up. There's no doubt about that. And I wouldn't buy unless I did lowest to highest, and then I usually don't buy the lowest.
Gem Flipper said this question's for Carrie and Kevin. Who is your favorite all-time baseball player? Mine is Frank Thomas.
I think we've answered this before.
But have you answered it for Gem Flipper?
Nolan Ryan is my favorite, but I like.
Oh, that's so cliche.
Lenny Dykstra. Well, it's not cliche.
Pick someone who wasn't as famous. Michael Jordan, for example, was my favorite baseball player.
Said Lenny Dykstra.
He was a baseball.
I said Michael Jordan.
Dykstra was
Michael Jordan.
I like Cecil Fielder, Julio Franco, Ruben Sierra, Danny Tartable.
No, he was from Seinfeld. They talked about him, and George talked to him.
Danny Tartable was from Seinfeld?
Yep. He was in Seinfeld. Yeah, and Keith Hernandez was the other one. Those are the two. He's
from Seinfeld and also did baseball on the side.
And also did a little baseball on the side. I love all these comments.
Was one of my favorites.
Jim Abbott was good, yeah.
Dodgy Trouser said, when is the next episode of the Tech to Cash podcast coming out?
Dude, I'm out. Listen, you cannot pull off tech on this show. You can't pull him off full time. I don't know. Maybe it might be a good promotion because
Pull
this
him
is
off?
his target
What does that
audience.
even mean?
Yeah,
You can't pull
Kevin.
off getting him on here full time. You pulled me
Oh,
off.
no,
somehow.
he wouldn't.
I don't know.
Ugh.
We did pull you off somehow, much
So
like
much dust.
Kevin's Rod Mike.
God, it's an hour 24 in. But listen, this is a good tech strategy if you're listening to tech. You have all the nerdy people who want to make
Yeah, you got the
I shouldn't say nerdy.
squares.
The
got the geeks.
Type A people, right?
Yeah.
You got the
Yeah.
Type A folks, right?
You
This
need
is
some
your target
Fonzies.
audience now.
You need some Fonzies in your podcast.
No,
man.
because the Fonzies, these groups, they're not going to pay $30 a month. So
they're not going to pay for it, but you
Too
need
many
them.
cheapos in
Look,
this.
your tech.
Okay,
listen,
so
here's our
NC
pitch. It
thrifting.
would benefit us. It would benefit
yeah,
us
personally,
greatly.
we would maybe make some money from
Outside
your
of that,
Patreon.
no
This is
value
what
for
we
you.
want.
You
How
will
can
get
we make
zero
that
value
happen?
back. We will get all the value.
Dodgy trousers. Oh yeah, NC Thrifting said if you could have any job in the world other than reselling, what would it be?
Dude, have we answered this before?
I swear we
I
have.
don't know. I don't know if I've
Yes.
answered that one.
Yes. I would
Okay.
be...
Kevin hates your
I would be
question, NC Thrifting.
a big-time college baseball coach.
Ballroom dancer.
Yeah, okay,
Like,
that's
not
cool.
just any college.
Like in Moneyball, I saw Moneyball recently. That was a pretty cool movie.
Oh, I would love to
You know,
be
my brother's
like.
a scout.
I'd love to be a GM and just.
Oh,
I
he
would
was a
go to
scout.
like whatever
He
teams
is a
are,
scout.
and I would just ruin them intentionally. I would just,
or on accident. Either way.
no, but if you go in saying you're doing it on purpose, then they don't get mad if you actually do. And if you do good, they think you're a genius. If you do.
You do. Okay, so I would say like
This is so
I would
useless.
enjoy if it was like a super awesome high paying job if this sort of thing existed. Some sort of like movie reviewer or food reviewer would be
Yeah.
pretty fun.
Like
you
a
know, like you're
podcast.
just reviewing stuff and you're getting money for it. Like these
Yeah.
people who just sit there and eat
Like
food.
you have to watch
and
a
they're-
Racerhead, and
doing
it's
it.
terrible, and
But
you just
people
want
actually
to
watch and care.
gouge your eyes out the
Yeah.
whole time.
But not even that, like not necessarily like on YouTube, like literally like you go into the theater and then you fill out a little thing with your review and then someone else writes the article and does all the work and makes the content. Just your score is the job. That's all you have to do is just
No,
give
this
a
is
score.
even better. You go to the movie theater and you give your review live to the people who are there as the movie's going on.
That's good. Hello, I do not like this part.
Jake Gyllenhaal is subpar. You know, just stuff
But
like
his
that.
abs are incredible.
Oh my gosh, beautiful man. Not a thought inside his sweet
Listen,
head.
I will say, like one of my favorite jobs ever was working at the movie theater and just like going in and yelling at the kids who were talking.
Did
that
you
was
eat
fun.
the left?
That was
Did
fun.
you
Eating
eat
all
the
the
popcorn that
popcorn.
was left? Did you eat
Oh,
it? Like
well,
the,
you got
When they
free
yelled
popcorn.
back, I
Dude,
could see Dave
literally,
like scurrying away.
at the end of the day, they didn't want to save the popcorn, so they'd like have you fill a brand new trash bag with popcorn, and you just take the whole trash bag full of popcorn home.
just see Dave.
And I would just sit there in my house and be
See
like,
Dave. the trash can of popcorn like he's running
some
away,
more butter
from
on
home. Running away from home with his trash bag of popcorn.
Would
And
the kids
not a
laugh
girl
at
in
you
sight, no ladies.
No, all
just
the
him and
kids
his
took it.
popcorn.
all the kids took them.
No,
All the
I'm
kids took
saying that would they laugh at you when you told them to be quiet?
No, I kicked them out.
Oh,
I asserted
okay.
my authority, as Cartman would say, and I
like
kicked
it.
them out. The other cool
Nice.
thing about it was like they'd let you watch movies before they came out. Like they
Mm-hmm.
did. I remember Sin City, Frank Miller's Sin City. I went and saw it at midnight,
Wow.
like a week before it
Wow.
came out. That was cool. Like
Bet
just
you
like
felt
the
bad about
exclusive
that one
feeling of
afterwards.
that.
I bet you didn't realize that was
Yeah, it was
an
a little
inappropriate movie for you to have
a
watched.
little inappropriate. Well, I was like 20 at the time, so I was like willing to watch a PG-13 or no, I think it was R. That was an R
Definitely
movie,
not
right?
PG-13,
Yeah, it
buddy.
was an R. I don't really remember it very well. I think it was in black and white though.
Chris says my favorite Kevin label is still octogenarian. Thank you,
Yeah, the
Carrie.
80-year-old
Appreciate
Kevin.
that.
Exactly.
Okay,
You
Craig
don't even-
McLaughlin.
You don't even look like an octopus.
Yeah, well, he's got the 8 legs, though. I know you all regularly share a lot about shopping strategies, but how many secrets do you keep for fear of others taping in? Tapping in? And
Tapping in,
reducing
tapping
a
in?
good stream. Tapping in. Oh, yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I tell you one thing I don't say much, but I said it on the. I went live on Dibdit and on Garage Sale Nation on Facebook the other day, and somebody asked me about early birds, and I really said around here in this area, it's one of the secrets to reselling is you can't show up 20 minutes before a sale and expect to be the first one. And it's not a secret, but I don't talk about it much because people get ticked. But I show up 45 minutes early to most sales.
Really?
I refuse still to this
I feel
day. I
guilty
won't.
doing that. I feel guilty.
No, it's all about the way you do it. If obviously you can scope the situation out. If they're not ready and nobody's there, I'm not bugging them. Bugging them. But if
I've seen people do that, knock on the doors.
no, I'm not doing that.
Yeah,
stuff.
don't be
Rod
that guy.
did it.
Yeah.
Or gal.
Down in Florida. She's
Rod's
like,
just
this person's out here. And she came out.
Rod has so much anger in the morning. Typically, that's when the punching
Yeah, he's
happens.
constantly punching. Yeah.
He has to keep
But ask
reminding
him
himself,
nicely.
pick, stop punching.
Just say,
Yep.
I know I'm
And
early.
peeing.
And pee, yeah,
We should rename his channel "Picking, Punching, and Peeing."
yeah, the 3 P's.
Sorry, Kevin.
Triple
Go on.
P.
Go on. Talk
I'm
about
just
your
saying,
early bird.
just- you
Kevin's
just
got
ask
this
him.
crazy secret, guys. Get to
It's not
your
a
sales
secret.
early.
I'm just saying. It's not a secret. They
Look.
said something you don't share. I don't share it because it's not popular.
tell you one, I
There's
won't
a
tell
song about
anybody.
it. Even got to be the
I won't
first
tell
one there.
anybody,
Yeah.
but there are certain. Listen, and I'm going to be vague about this, so please bear with me, guys. I don't want to give it away. There are certain Disney VHSs that, if you look on the side spine, if you look on the spine, no, can we bleep
There
that
are
out?
some.
Can we bleep
The
that
best
out?
ones-
It's not a black. It wasn't the black